Hey YouTube. So we're going to be testing out the Pruveeo dash cam, and here we go. We're going to do the little unboxing and set it up inside the car and do a little test video of it. Camera did not come with memory card, so I ended up finding a 2-pack, and that's what we'll be using here today is one of these nice little scan discs. All right, let's get this box open and see what's inside. It's a little tough doing this with one hand, but I think I'll manage. I ended up doing an entire voiceover on this thing just because there was kids playing in the background. If you can see the shadow there, they decided it was a good idea to talk the entire time I was trying to record. That was the camera coming out of the box in its nice little felt package. A little piece of foam. Get this cardboard out and look what kind of wires we have in here. We've got the power adapter. This is the plate that the camera will mount to once stuck to the windshield, and this little red 3M sticker that actually goes on a nice clean windshield, and we've got a backup just in case it gets a little hot. Now the backup sticker I did put away with some other wires and things like that, so hopefully I'll be able to find it later. That was all that's in the box. Got a little instruction packet, business card that it came with. Here I'm going to flip through the instruction packet and take a look. And about the only interesting thing that I saw was that if the camera does get hot, it can burn your skin. I was a little curious as to when my hot dash cam would ever come in contact with my skin, but that is a warning that was put in, and I'm sure at some point in time somebody must have written the company saying, hey, I touched this hot camera and it burned my skin. The instructions are short, brief, very simple to read. And about the only other thing was to just format the memory card in your computer before putting it in the camera. I did that, and I formatted it again once it was in the camera, just so the camera could set its settings on top of the memory card. Alright, let's look at this power adapter maybe. This thing is long. It's going in a minivan, 2014 Town and Country, and it makes it the entire length from the top of the windshield, around the windshield, all the way down the dashboard, under the dashboard, and into the bottom charging port. Yeah, that's about it with the wire. Slide this camera out of the felt, see what it looks like. It's actually kind of interesting. I like how it looks when it's in the van. It's got the two dual cameras, one going forward, one going on the inside. So I'm sure if you were like an Uber driver, this would actually be a fantastic thing to have. The camera that faces inside the van is infrared, so it's able to see in the dark. It gives everything this weirdly weird pinkish color, which doesn't really matter if you're needing that video, to reference somebody that was in your vehicle at one point in time. There's HDMI port there. I don't think I'll ever use that. I'd end up just popping the memory card out. It also has a port for external GPS. I'm sure that's for geotagging wherever you're at. I GPS everything on my phone, so that really wouldn't be very beneficial for me. Both cameras rotate back and forth. Also on the front of the camera, it has an open and a close thing with an arrow. I have no clue what that means. It even shows it in the book. I'll go back to it inside the book because I'm still wondering what it means. I mean, I know what open and close means, but as far as why those words were written on the front of the camera, and there doesn't seem to be any noticeable switches that get opened or get closed. So I haven't really done anything with it. I just, okay, I don't see any reason for the open and close, and we'll just ignore that. Yeah, there it is right there. Open and close. Still looking through the instructions. Don't really see anything in there worth looking at. hopefully soon I give up. Doesn't look like it. Looks like I'm just going to keep looking through the instruction book. Sorry if you hear the cars going past. I had to find a quiet place, and unfortunately my quiet place does still have the sound of traffic. And as I'm recording this, I see that my green bar is constantly up just a tiny bit, so I'd like to find out what kind of background noise this thing's actually picking up when I'm not speaking. So all in all, the camera looks actually kind of cool. Once it's installed, you really never have to look at it again, and we're about ready to actually go ahead and just get it installed in the van right now. Bam! Look at that magic. So there it is. I cleaned the windshield with rubbing alcohol, 91% alcohol. Stuck the 3M tape on, mounted everything. The camera does have a battery backup of sorts that does allow it to run while you turn the vehicle off. It does run for a couple seconds. I tucked the wire up behind the headliner, and here you can't see it. Oh, I mean, you can see the wire faintly, but my intention was to use some black 3M tape to actually hold it up there in place. But bring it around the dashboard, and bam, there it is. So now that port has constant power, and I'm just using that to charge the battery up while I make the video, and I do end up switching it to a port that does turn on and off with the vehicle, and it's the act of turning the vehicle on and off that engages the record and shutdown of the camera. This camera records in 1 minute and 3 minute segments. I have mine set to 1 minute. It's just a lot easier to go through the video when I look back at it later. Yeah, so it's in there, and this is about a month into owning the camera, and the wire's done good, tucked away. The kids haven't kicked it, I haven't kicked it. I've got it all snug up under there now at this point in time. And I still haven't got the 3M tape for the headliner, but that's still to come. Just waiting on it. Now, outside the van, looking in, really just the angle of the windshield, you can't actually tell that the camera's even in there. Not on camera anyways. I guess if you get close outside, you do see it faintly. The glare right now just kind of covers it all. And we're about ready to show some footage of us just driving. We're actually going to the hospital for one of my wife's checkups. But this is what it looks like driving. I mean, this is fantastic looking. I mean, am I going to make a movie out of it, like for Hollywood? No, but just for driving and catching information that you need to catch, I think this is absolutely perfect. It covers from one end of the dash to the other. I mean, it's a little fish-eyed, but definitely you don't see any vibration. It's a 2014 minivan, so the van doesn't shake really at all anyways, but looks good. It handles the contrast of the sky and the road pretty well. And here we are, just getting up on the interstate. And again, like I said, I recorded these in just little 1 minute segments. I don't know how much when I made this video that I cropped these videos to make these segments shorter, but that was just us getting onto the highway. And we're going to be a little bit further down the interstate here in a second. There we go. And I actually ended up doing the voiceover and having to mute this just because there was background noise from the radio on this end of it, and everyone gets a little worried about their copyright infringement things now, that you can't even have some unintentional noise in the background. If you don't like my voice, oh well, sorry about your luck, but you can just turn it down and then purchase this camera for your own vehicle, because it actually works pretty well. I have another camera that's in my car. So far, it's garbage. It records to the memory card. I can't play back on the camera. Stick it in the computer. Computer shows that there's information there, but it doesn't, you can't see it. So that's actually going back, and I'm going to get another one of these ones. And here we're about ready to be in the deck at the local hospital here, and it handles being in the dark pretty well. So you see it there, and I'm not going to show us any video of us inside the vehicle. don't see any point in that, but the internal camera works just as good as the external here. I should say the camera facing inside works just as good as the camera facing on the outside. Very happy with both. And once we get to the top of this parking deck, we're going to actually park on the top itself. And the reason here we parked that high, one, the parking deck was full. Two, I wanted to go all the way up to the top just to see how the camera reacted from going to this extra dark to the bright. And I actually think that it handled it pretty well. I don't show the transition happening here, that little 1 minute time thing, you know, as far as the timestamps go. Actually, I should have edited that in, but here it goes, coming around the bend, and then bam, it's going to be daylight. Pow. So, does good. Super happy with this camera, and if you end up picking one up, I hope you enjoy it. Ciao. If you like this, like and subscribe.